Hello everyone, Xeno What If here. Bring in the first movie of What If Peter was the son of Dr. Light beginning arc. Link down description of the fanfiction of this What If. Listen here YouTube. I do not own anything and this is not a scam. Earth 321XX. Fantastic Four, World's Greatest Heroes. Wolverine and X-Men. Avengers Assemble. Mega Man. Hi-Fi Rush. Robot Cop. Wally. Robots. Mighty Number 9, Atomic Heart, Gravity Circuit, Bodhi, Byteland Overclocked, Tobot, 30XX, Cubics, Prologue. In year 2303, humanity has evolved so much. However, some were always lazy and not doing their jobs properly. However, many scientists created lifeless machines willing to do whatever it took to help people. Several years passed by and it was the year 21XX. And beware of where futuristic cities were existing clean energy sources, instead of the toxic pollution energy sources. However, one robotic scientist by the name of Thomas Light wanted to create machines to have their own personal emotions and feelings like humans. However, other scientists and amazing inventors such as Tony Stark and Reed Richards disapproved of it because the idiotic decision of creating Ultron. However, Thomas Light protested against both Reed, Richard and Tony Stark for their arrogance and rushing the project of creating Ultron without giving proper guidance, the reason why he became evil. Thomas Light explaining that the robot masters were actually different to learn and experience to understand what is right and what is wrong. At the heart of it all stood the Light Robotics Complex, its crystalline structure pulsing with energy. Inside, Dr. Thomas Light adjusted his glasses as he monitored the neural patterns of his latest creation, DLN-003, a prototype robot with revolutionary quantum emotion processors. Tony Stark's holographic head flickered to life nearby, his expression disapproving. Tony Stark, you're making the same mistakes we did with Ultron, Thomas. Emotions in machines, that's how you get another genocide. Thomas Light didn't even look up from his work. Thomas Light, no, Tony. That's how you get this. He gestured to where Rock, Mega Man, and Roll were playing chess with a 4-year-old Peter Light, the boy laughing as Roll deliberately made a terrible move to let him win. Thomas Light, your mistake wasn't giving machines emotions, it was not giving them guidance. A child doesn't learn right from wrong by being programmed with it. Asterisk. The hologram of Reed Richards materialized beside Stark's, his arms crossed. Reed Richards, the council has voted. Your Robot Masters project is to be shut down immediately. Asterisk. Thomas's hands clenched. Thomas Light, because you're afraid. Afraid that my creations will prove yours obsolete. Asterisk. Before the argument could continue, alarms blared. 5 years later, year 21XX plus 5. 12-year-old Peter Light sprinted through the laboratory corridors, his prototype O1 armor whirring as it formed around his limbs. Behind him, Dr. Wily's invasion drones smashed through reinforced doors. Peter Light, Dad, the eastern sector's been breached. Thomas Light overcomes Peter, get to the safe room. Now. But Peter didn't listen, he couldn't. Not when he saw Wily's newest creation, a monstrous robot master hybrid tearing through Rock's defenses. The explosion sent Peter flying. When he woke up, half his body was gone and losing a lot of blood as well in the process. His right arm, most of his torso, and part of his face had been vaporized in the explosion. Blood pooled beneath him, staining the pristine floor crimson. His breathing was shallow, his pulse fading. Dr. Thomas Light stood frozen in the doorway, his glasses cracked, his lab coat singed. His human son was dying in front of him. Rock, Mega Man, and Roll stood beside him, their synthetic eyes wide with horror. Roll, father, we have to do something. Rock, Mega Man, the damage is too severe. Human medical tech can't save him now. Thomas's hands clenched. Tony Stark's voice echoed in his mind. Emotions in machines, that's how you get another genocide. But this wasn't about machines. This was about his son. Thomas's expression hardened. Thomas Light, no, but mine can. The operation. The quantum emotion processors hummed to life, their blue light casting eerie shadows across the operating table. Peter's remaining organic tissue was stabilized, his mind preserved in a neural stasis field. Thomas Light worked tirelessly, his hands moving with precision as he integrated cybernetic enhancements into Peter's ravaged body. Titanium alloy bones. Neural-linked synthetic musculature. A prototype energy core based on Rock's own systems, but enhanced. And finally, the O-type armor frame. A suit that wasn't just armor, it was part of him now. Rebirth. Peter's eyes snapped open. His vision was different, sharper. Data streamed across his HUD: heart rate, energy levels, threat assessments. He tried to move. His new cybernetic limbs responded instantly, stronger than before. Peter Light. Dad. Thomas slumped into a chair, exhausted. Thomas Light. Peter, you're alive. Peter looked down at himself. His right arm was gone, replaced by a sleek, armored limb. His torso was reinforced with plating, his nervous system now interwoven with synthetic relays. He wasn't just human anymore. He was something more. The first test. The alarms blared again. Dr. Wily's forces hadn't stopped. Peter stood no, launched himself off the table, his new body moving faster than he ever could before. Rock Mega Man. Peter, wait. You're not ready. But Peter was already gone. The hallway outside was a war zone. Wily's robot masters tore through security drones, their weapons blazing. Peter didn't hesitate. His O-type armor activated, plating shifting to cover his remaining organic parts. His right arm transformed, energy crackling around a built-in plasma cannon. Peter Light no, over now charged. His first shot vaporized a Sniper Joe. His second sliced a Metool in half. Wily's machines turned toward him, their optics flaring in recognition. Over. Peter Light, you messed with the wrong family. Chapter number 1. Over's first battle. Location, Neo Tokyo. Year, 21XX+5. The city burned. Smoke choked the skyline as Dr. Wily's rogue robot masters rampaged through Neo Tokyo, their weapons reducing buildings to rubble. Civilians screamed, fleeing as mechanical monstrosities carved a path of destruction toward the light robotics complex. At the heart of the chaos, a lone figure stood over. His O-type armor gleamed under the firelight, the blue energy core in his chest pulsing with power. His cybernetic optics scanned the battlefield, locking onto the approaching forces. Over. Peter Light. Targets acquired. The battle begins. A Sniper Joe unit spotted him, its rifle whirring as it took aim. Sniper Joe. Hostile detected. Eliminating. Before it could fire, Over moved. His massively FTL speed kicked in 1 second. He was standing still, the next, his fist shattered the robot's skull-like helmet in a burst of sparks. Over didn't stop. He blitzed through the battlefield, his plasma cannon forming from his right arm. A single shot vaporized 3 Metools in an instant. Battle memory system activated. His neural HUD flashed as his learning system analyzed enemy patterns. Cut Man leapt from the wreckage, his scissor blades spinning. Cut Man, you're just a kid playing hero. Over ducked under the slash, his armored fist crushing Cut Man's torso in one strike. Over, in your outdated tech. Wily's secret weapon. A shadow loomed over the battlefield. Guts Man 2.0 bigger, stronger, and angrier slammed into the ground, cracking the street beneath him. Guts Man 2.0, Light's little failure thinks he can stop us. Huh. Over braced himself as Guts Man charged, his superhuman strength enough to level buildings. Impact. The shockwave sent debris flying. Over skidded back, his armor's durability barely keeping him intact. Warning. Structural integrity at 67%. Guts Man laughed. Guts Man 2.0, not so tough now, are ya? Over's optics narrowed. Over, switching to O2 armor frame. His armor shifted, plates realigning as reinforced hydraulics engaged. Striking strength increased. This time, when Guts Man swung, Over caught the fist. And squeezed. Metal buckled. Guts Man howled as Over yanked him off his feet and slammed him into the ground. Over, you were saying. The final blow. Wily's forces were retreating. But Over wasn't done. His battle memory had recorded everything, their tactics, their weaknesses. He activated his comm link. Over, Rock, roll, I'm pursuing Wily. Roll. Over comms, Peter, no. It's too dangerous. Rock, Mega Man, we're on our way. Don't engage alone. Over ignored them. His learning system had already pinpointed Wily's escape route. Over, switching to O3 armor frame, high-speed pursuit mode. His legs transformed, thrusters igniting as he blasted into the sky. Wily's hovercraft was just ahead. Over wasn't letting him escape. However, it was too late, Willy and his hovering mobile flying away from the scene of crime. Over growling, "Damn it." Wily disappeared into the stratosphere, leaving only smoke trails and mockery behind. Wily over distant broadcast, "You'll never catch me, Tin Boy. This is just the beginning." Dr. Light on comms, "Didn't Peter just come home? You're still heavily damaged." Over's fists clenched, his O3 armor's thrusters overheating. His HUD flashed red. Fuel reserves, 12%. Armor integrity, 58%. Warning, pursuit impossible. Over growling, "Damn it." He'd failed. Return to the Light Complex. The Light Robotics Complex loomed ahead, its once pristine walls now scarred by artillery fire. Inside, Dr. Thomas Light stood in the hangar bay, his face a mix of relief and exhaustion. "Dr. Light, Peter, you just came home. You're still heavily damaged. Asterisk." Over landed hard, his armor hissing as it depressurized. The O3 frame retracted, revealing the boy beneath. Asterisk asterisk Peter Light asterisk, his human side pale with fatigue, his cybernetic limbs flickering with unstable energy. "Over. I had him. I could have ended this." Dr. Light stepped forward, placing a hand on his son's shoulder. The weight of it felt heavier than Guts Man's punches. "Dr. Light, you saved the city. That's enough for today." But Peter's eyes burned with something darker. "Over. No, it's not." Chapter number 2, Getting Back Dr. Light's Robot Master. Location, the Light Robotics Complex. Peter Light, also going by his alias, is Over, still angry at Dr. Wily getting away even if it means he's willing to kill him. As Dr. Light, his father and also the creators of the first sets of robot masters he created, walked up to his son, having a bit of concerned look on his face. Dr. Light, "Look son. I know you're angry but..." Peter, "Over. I know, but someone has to stop his felony even if it means I will kill him." Until Peter got slapped in the face by his father, looking him in shock and disbelief. "Look. Dr. Light, don't go down to Stark paths if you do. And are you any better than Wily?" Somewhere in the complex, Roll gasped. Rock tensed, his Mega Buster instinctively half-charging, not at a threat but at the wrongness of the moment. Over's optics dimmed to a blood-red pulse. "Over, Stark chose to be a weapon. I was made into one." Later, in the lab, Dr. Light examined Peter's neural core. The scans showed something troubling, corrupted data packets in his battle memory. "Dr. Light, Peter, your learning system is adapting too aggressively. It's rewriting your own morality protocols." A hologram played, footage of Over ripping through Sniper Joe's not just with efficiency, but with something colder. Something hungry. Peter stared at his own hands, one flesh, one alloy. Peter, "Over, I don't feel sorry for them." Dr. Light closed the file. "That's what frightens me." Peter stood before the O4 armor frame. Black as void, crimson veins throbbing like a heartbeat. "Dr. Light, listen, I need you a favor. Peter, you to get those robot masters I created back. And please don't destroy them." Roll. "Look, everyone's going haywire and turning violent. Dr. Light, please. My robots, your friends, you must stop them. For the sake of the world, and all of humanity, I'm counting on you." Over's fingers curled into fists. Over, switching to O4 frame. Mission accepted. The armor moved before he touched it, liquid alloy swallowing him whole. Chapter number 3, Peter, Over vs. Cut Man. Location, Neo Tokyo, abandoned sawmill. Peter, Over in O4 frame teleported to the abandoned sawmill area where Cut Man was at. Peter, Over in O4 frame. I arrived at the location ready to begin mission. Peter, Over in O4 frame, using his artillery cannon destroying many enemies such as X3 Komatoma and X3 Mambu. Peter, Over in O4 frame. How pathetic. If this is what Dr. Wily is throwing at me, then disappointed. Peter, Over continued making his way to Cut Man's area, encountering and destroying many more enemies such as X5 Blaster, X4 Komatoma and X6 Bunby Heli using his heavy artillery cannon. Peter, Over in O4 frame. Get the hell out of my. Peter, Over almost submitted to the heart of the abandoned sawmill only to be stuffed up. One of Dr. Wily's creation is known as Big Eye. Peter over in O4 frame, how annoying. Peter over in O4 frame teleported behind it, his sword splitting it in half before it could fire. Cut man, brother, I can't believe it. Dr. Wily was right. You've changed into a bad robot. Peter over in O4 frame, so you'll believe a madman over your own family. Cut man, family doesn't kill. A hologram projected from Cut man's chest, footage of Over's rampage in Neo Tokyo. The way he'd crushed Sniper Joes long after they were disabled. Cut man, this isn't you, Peter. Over's grip tightened. Peter over in O4 frame, Peter Light died in that accident. I'm what's left. His cannon recharged. Morality protocol alert, critical failure. Cut man lunged, not to attack, but to hug. His blades retracted as he wrapped his arms around Over's armored torso. Cut man, then come back to us. For the first time since the O4 activated, Over hesitated. His HUD flashed. Wily virus detected in Cut man's core. Solution: purge via neural override. Risk: 89% fatality. Dr. Light's voice echoed in his mind, they're not just machines. They're your friends. Over's cannon dimmed. Over, damn it. He grabbed Cut man's head, not to crush, but to hack. Override initiated. Cut man screamed as the virus burned away, as Peter over in O4 frame grabbing Cut man and teleporting back to the Light Robotics complex. Chapter number 4, Peter over vs. Ice Man. Location: Neo Tokyo, icy landscape. Peter over switched to armored O2 having Wolfear on the helmet and Claw's plasma blade arriving at the icy landscape of where Ice Man. Peter over in O2 frame, I'll talk about this. Place is very cold. Peter over in O2 frame began making his way to where Ice Man located at somewhere in the frozen icy landscape. Only for Peter over in O2 frame to encounter and fight against more of Dr. Wily's creations such as X5 Pepe, X6 Crazy Razy, X4 Shield Guard. A glacial palace loomed ahead, its throne of ice holding Ice Man, except his usual grin was twisted, his eyes flickering with Wily's crimson virus. Ice Man, Peter. And no, you're supposed to be nice. They said you're bad now. Over retracted his claws. Peter over in O2 frame, I'm here to bring you home. Ice Man, shivering, not from cold. Liar. You heard Cut Man. A hologram projected, Over's fight with Cut Man, distorted to show only the violence, not the save. Over's systems raged. Peter over in O2 frame, Wily, you pathetic. Ice Man screamed, firing a 0-degree beam. The world froze over. Over's O2 frame iced instantly, but his core burned hotter. Morality protocol override, non-lethal force authorized. With a snarl, he shattered the ice, lunging. Not to strike. To grab. Over hugged Ice Man, his armor's thermal regulators flooding heat into the smaller robot. Peter over in O2 frame, gritted teeth, listen to me. That virus is lying. I'm still your brother. Ice Man sobbed, his systems overloading from conflict. Ice Man, I'm scared. Over's claws pierced Ice Man's back panel asterisk, not to destroy, but to purge. Virus deletion in progress. The blizzard stopped. Ice Man lay crumpled in the snow, his usual dopey smile returning. Ice Man, weakly. Did I do something bad? Over lifted him gently. Over, no. But Wily did. Location, Light Robotics Complex, main hub. The teleportation beacon flared as Peter over in O2 frame rematerialized, Ice Man cradled in his arms. The smaller robot's systems were stable, but his usual playful energy was dimmed, haunted by the remnants of Wily's corruption. Rock Mega Man, Ice Man. The blue bomber rushed forward, relief washing over his features as he saw his brother intact. Roll was already at Over's side, her scanners confirming Ice Man's recovery. Roll. Virus purged. Core functions nominal. He's gonna be okay. Peter over in O2 frame didn't respond immediately. His optics flickered, processing the mission logs, the way Ice Man had looked at him with fear, the way Wily had twisted his memories. Dr. Light. Peter, you did the right thing. Peter over in O2 frame, did I? His voice was low, metallic, but beneath the distortion, something human flickered. They don't trust me anymore. Not after what Wily made them see. Ice Man stirred weakly, his optics focusing. Peter. A beat of silence. Then, Iceman grinning weakly, "You're warm." A choked, staticky noise escaped Over's vocalizer, something between a laugh and a sob. Rock stepped forward, placing a hand on Over's armored shoulder. "We do trust you. But Wily's playing dirty. He's not just attacking our systems, he's attacking our family." Roll nodded fiercely. "And family doesn't give up on each other." Over's grip tightened slightly around Iceman before carefully passing him to Rock. "Peter, over in O2 frame. Then we fight back. Not just as machines. Not just as soldiers. As family." A holographic projection flickered to life. "Drive." Wily's face, leering from a hidden transmission. Dr. Wily, mocking, "How touching. But sentiment won't save you, Light. I've already won. Your children fear you. Your son is a monster." Over's optics burned crimson. "Peter, over in O2 frame. You're wrong." He turned to Dr. Light. "Peter, over in O2 frame. Father. Activate the O5 frame." A silence. Dr. Light, softly. "Are you sure?" The O5 frame was the final prototype, unstable, untested. A fusion of man and machine beyond anything they'd attempted. Peter, over didn't hesitate. "Peter, over in O2 frame, for them. I'm sure." Chapter number 5, Peter, over vs. Fire Man. Location, Neo Tokyo, Steel Foundries Smelting. Peter, over teleports inside of Steel Foundries Smelting of where Fire Man. Peter, over in 0 to 7 frame armor was able to copy the ability from Iceman to survive the harsh temperature of Steel Foundries Smelting. Peter, over in 0 to 7 frame. Let's get this over with. Peter, over in 0 to 7 frame moving across Steel Foundries Smelting while also fighting and countering many enemies such as X8 Screwdriver Turrets, X7 Chanky Maker, X6 Killer Bomb. Peter, over in 07 frame. Wily's recycling his old tricks. Pathetic. A deep, guttural laugh echoed through the chamber. Hardly. The molten metal below bubbled, then erupted, forming a towering figure of living flame. Molten metal bubbled violently as Fire Man emerged from the inferno, his body wreathed in white-hot flames. Unlike Ice Man and Cut Man, there was no hesitation in his stance, no flicker of doubt. Wily's corruption had taken full hold. "Fire Man, fire. Burn, burn. My justice burns hotly. Evil beware." Peter Light, "No, not anymore. You're just another machine now. A failed experiment." Peter, over in 07 frame stood motionless, his armor's cooling systems working overtime to counteract the blistering heat. His HUD flashed warnings, extreme temperature detected. Combat efficiency at 78%. Peter, over in 07 frame. "Fire Man. Stand down. This isn't you." Fire Man's optics burned crimson, his voice distorted by the virus. "No. This is better than me. No more hesitation. No more weakness. Just purging flame." A torrent of fire erupted from his arms, engulfing Over in a supernova of heat. The steel around them warped, dripping like liquid. Morality protocol alert. Lethal force authorized. Target is fully compromised. Over's optics narrowed. Peter, over in 07 frame. "Fine. Then I'll put you out." The Inferno Clash Fire Man lunged, his fists wreathed in plasma-hot flames. Over sidestepped, his 07 frame's Ice Man copied ability activating, Frost Impact. A blast of Sub-Zero energy met Fire Man's charge, steam exploding between them in a scalding shockwave. "Fire Man, you think ice can stop me?" He retaliated with Meltdown Strike, his fist slamming into Over's chest plate. The armor glowed red-hot, alarms blaring in Over's systems. Peter, over in 07 frame, grunting, "TCH, no. But this will." His plasma claws extended, crackling with reverse polarity energy, designed to disrupt fire-based systems. He slashed forward, not to pierce, but to overload. Fire Man, staggering, "GHK. What did you?" Peter, over in 07 frame. "A little trick I learned from Dad. Fire needs oxygen. But machines, they need circuits." A final, precise strike, Over's claw jammed into Fire Man's core regulator. Virus purge initiated. Fire Man screamed as the corruption burned away, his flames flickering erratically before dimming to a soft, controlled glow. He collapsed to his knees, optics clearing. Fire Man, weakly. Peter. Over retracted his claws, kneeling beside him. Peter, over in 07 frame. "Yeah. It's me." Aftermath, Light Robotics Complex. The teleportation beacon hummed as Over returned, Fireman barely conscious in his arms. Rock and Roll rushed forward, but this time, there was no hesitation, no fear. Only relief. Roll. Another one saved. Rock, smiling, you're getting good at this. Peter Over didn't respond immediately. His O7 frame systems were strained, the heat damage still registering. But something else weighed on him. Dr. Light approaching Peter. Peter Over in O7 frame. Wily's not just corrupting them. He's erasing their memories of me. Making them believe I'm the enemy. A heavy silence. Then, Fireman groggily. Nah, we'd never forget you, hotshot. A beat. Then, for the first time in a long time, Peter Over laughed. Chapter number 6, Peter Over vs. Elec Man. Location, Neo Tokyo, Power Plant. Peter Over was still in 0 to 7 frame armor, was able to copy the ability from Iceman looking around the power plant, the source of the blackouts and where Elec Man was located at. Peter Over in 07 frame. This power plant is where Elec Man is located. The old place of this electric tower is a reason for city blackouts. Peter Over in 07 frame, moving and navigating across the power plant while also encountering and obliterating enemies created by Dr. Wily such as X8 Metal, X7 Watcher, X9 Gabriel and X10 Kamadoma. Peter Over in 07 frame, TCH. Annoyances. His plasma claws activated, slicing through the drones in a single arcing slash. Sparks erupted as their cores detonated. Elec Man moved faster than the eye could track, a living lightning bolt. His thunder beam lanced out, striking Over dead center. Elec Man, well done, but you say goodbye here. I might even tell you more about me after I win. Peter Over's optics narrowed, recalibrating to track Elec Man's hyperspeed movements. The yellow armored robot master stood atop a transformer, his grin sharp under his visor. Elec Man, disappointed. You expected me to be corrupted like the others. He raised a hand, arcs of electricity dancing between his fingers. Wily didn't change me. He just helped me see the truth. Peter Over in 07 frame, which is. Elec Man's grin turned icy. That you're obsolete. Elec Man vanished, reappearing mid-strike as his plasma knuckle slammed into Over's guard. The impact sent shockwaves through the reactor chamber, shaking loose debris. Over retaliated with a frost impact, but Elec Man phased through the ice blast, reforming behind him. Elec Man, too slow. A thunderclap detonated point blank, hurling Over through a steel conduit. Alarms blared as the power plant's systems destabilized. Peter Over gritting TCH. His HUD flashed. Eleciter copy protocol, initializing. Warning. Voltage exceeds safety limits. No choice. Over's claws overcharged, mimicking Elec Man's frequency. He lunged, trading blow for blow, each clash sending surges through the facility. Elec Man, laughing, you're adapting. Cute. But I am lightning. He split into 3 afterimages, each striking from a different angle. Over barely dodged, but the last kick sent him crashing into the reactor core. The truth. Elec Man loomed over him, his voice dropping to a whisper. Elec Man, you really don't remember, do you? A hologram flickered, a younger Peter Light, laughing beside Elec Man in a lab. Testing circuits. Trusting him. Elec Man, I was your first friend. But when you became this. He gestured to Over's mechanized form. You left me behind. Peter Over froze. Memory fragment recovered, 87% match. Peter Over in 07 frame. No, I didn't. His core flared, discharging the copied electricity back into Elec Man. The robot master convulsed, systems overloading as the feedback loop crushed Wily's influence. Elec Man, staggering, GHH. What did you? Peter Over, I remembered. A final, precise neural reset pulse. Elec Man collapsed, his optics flickering back to their usual calm blue. Elec Man, weakly. Peter Over extended a hand. Peter Over in 07 frame, welcome back. Back at Light Labs, Elec Man sat quietly as Roll ran diagnostics. Rock, so Wily didn't virus him. Elec Man, no, he just used my anger. Peter Over stood by the window, watching Neo Tokyo's lights flicker back on. Dr. Light, softly, this is escalating. Peter Over, then we end it. Chapter number 7, Peter over vs. Guts Man. Location, Neo Tokyo, Mountainous Mines. Peter over and over 9 from armor with abilities copied from Elect Man. Peter over and over 9 frame, Guts Man. I know you're here. Silence. Then, a boulder the size of a tank erupted from the cliffside, hurtling toward him. Over barely raised his arm in time, activating a plasma shield. Elect Man copied tech. The rock vaporized on impact, raining molten debris. Peter over and over 9 frame encountering and ready to fight against Manu robot enemies created by Dr. Wily. X6 Metal, X8 Pickleman, X8 Baton and X9 Bundy Heli. The cavern ahead, broad, towering, and radiating raw power. Guts Man emerged, his hydraulic fists clenched, optics glowing crimson. Guts Man, over. His voice was a grinding avalanche. Wily said you'd come, said you'd try to save me. He cracked his knuckles, the sound like pistons firing. Let's see you try. Guts Man moved deceptively fast for his size. His Giga Crusher fist came down like a meteor, over barely twisted aside, the shockwave tearing a chasm where he'd stood. Peter over and over 9 frame, Guts. You don't have to do this. Guts Man, yes, I do. A backhand sent over skidding through rock. His HUD flashed. Structural integrity, 84%. Elekiter shield charge, depleted. No time to recover. Guts Man was already airborne, executing a seismic slam. Over-activated Thunderstep. Elect Man's copied tech vanishing in a burst of lightning, reappearing behind Guts Man with a plasma-charged kick to his spine. It barely staggered him. Guts Man, grinning, that tickle. Wily's drone swarmed. Metals lunged with razor claws, Picklemans burrowed from below, baton bombs rained from above. Over's plasma claws became a whirlwind, carving through them, but Guts Man used the chaos, heaving an entire ore conveyor at him like a javelin. Peter over, GH. The impact cratered him into the cavern wall. Guts Man loomed closer, his voice low. Guts Man, you saved the others. But me, I asked for this. A hologram flickered, Guts Man volunteering for Wily's upgrades. Guts Man, I was weak before. Now, I'm strong. Over's optics dimmed. Memory fragment recovered. 91% match. Flashback. A younger Guts Man failing to lift a collapsed beam off civilians. Peter promising, we'll make you stronger. Peter over and over 9 frame. This isn't strength. He moved. Not to attack, to grab Guts Man's arm, channeling Elect Man's voltage directly into his neural ports. Guts Man roaring, ah. Stop. Peter over, you're already strong. You always were. The surge purged Wily's code, revealing the truth. Guts Man's upgrades were shackles. The Titan collapsed to his knees, optics clearing. Guts Man whispering, Pete. Over extended a hand. Peter over, let's go home. Aftermath at Light Labs. Guts Man sat quietly as Roll repaired his damaged hydraulics. Rock. He chose Wily. Dr. Light, out of shame. A flaw in my design. I never taught him his real strength. Outside, Over watched the sunrise, his over 9 frame humming. Chapter number 8, Peter over vs. Bomb Man. Location, Neo Tokyo, orange orb-like towers. Peter over's over 9 frame landed silently on an observation platform, his Guts Man enhanced hydraulics absorbing the impact. The visor in his helmet flickered to life, scanning for traps. Peter over and over 9 frame, Bomb Man. I know you can hear me. A chuckle echoed through the towers, then a wall of the nearest orb tower detached itself, revealing Bomb Man perched inside, his round body crackling with volatile charges. Bomb Man, oh, I can more than hear you, over. He raised his arms, dozens of mini-bombs materializing around him. I can feel you, your heartbeat, your fear. Bomb Man snapped his fingers. The world erupted. Over barely activated his Elect Man-derived M-shield in time. The concussive force still sent him skidding back, his armor scorched. His HUD flashed warnings. Explosive impact, 92% yield. Structural integrity, 79%. Bomb Man wasn't just throwing bombs, he was reshaping the battlefield, using the orb towers as amplifiers. Every detonation ricocheted, multiplying in force. Peter over, TCH. He lunged, Guts Man's hydraulic strength propelling him like a missile, only for Bomb Man to detonate the ground beneath him, sending over crashing through 3 floors of unstable architecture. Wily's message. Bomb Man dropped down after him, his voice eerily calm. Bomb Man, don't run off. Let's have a little fun with my explosives. Peter Over's over 9 frame landed silently on an observation platform, his guts man-enhanced hydraulics absorbing the impact. The visor in his helmet flickered to life, scanning for traps. Peter Over in over 9 frame, Bomb Man. I know you can hear me. A chuckle echoed through the towers, then a wall of the nearest orb tower detached itself, revealing Bomb Man perched inside, his round body crackling with volatile charges. Bomb Man, oh, I can more than hear you, Over. He raised his arms, dozens of mini-bombs materializing around him. I can feel you, your heartbeat, your fear. Explosive encounter. Bomb Man snapped his fingers. The world erupted. Over barely activated his Elect Man-derived M shield in time. The concussive force still sent him skidding back, his armor scorched. His HUD flashed warnings. Explosive impact, 92% yield. Structural integrity, 79%. Bomb Man wasn't just throwing bombs, he was reshaping the battlefield, using the orb towers as amplifiers. Every detonation ricocheted, multiplying in force. Peter Over, TCH. He lunged, Guts Man's hydraulic strength propelling him like a missile, only for Bomb Man to detonate the ground beneath him, sending Over crashing through 3 floors of unstable architecture. Chapter number 9, Infiltrating Dr. Wily's base. Location, Neo Tokyo, Light Labs. Returns to Dr. Light's lab after defeating the last robot master. Dr. Light and Roll are also present. Suddenly, a voice is heard from the main screen. Question mark. Drive Wily, my. Dr. Light, Roll, Mega Man and Peter Over are shocked when they hear a familiar voice. A silhouetted figure of Dr. Wily is seen on the screen. Dr. Wily, 8 robots and they all end up like this. The static from the screen begins to clear up. Dr. Wily, Dr. Light. Your robots are nothing but junk. Nuha ha ha ha. Roll, how horrible. Dr. Light, you, Dr. Wily, you are a most foul man. Dr. Wily, Nuhaha. Feeling sorry for yourself, Dr. Light. You're full of regret, aren't you? Well, then, come to my fortress, Castle Wily. I've already sent you an invitation. Don't disappoint me, Nuhaha. The scene fades to black. Roll, that monster. Using our brothers like pawns. Rock Mega Man stood rigid, his blue armor reflecting the emergency lights now pulsing through the complex. Rock, he's baiting us. Dr. Light's hands trembled as he pulled up the schematics Wily had gifted them. A map to Castle Wily, buried deep beneath Neo Tokyo's ruins. Dr. Light, it's a trap. But we have no choice. All eyes turned to Peter Over. His 09 frame stood motionless, optics locked on the blackened screen. When he spoke, his voice was colder than any machine's. Peter Over, I'll go. Alone. Roll. No. We're family. We fight together. Peter Over, and that's why Wily wins. His claws retracted with a hiss. He's not after you. He's after me. A hologram flared, security footage of Wily's lab. A shadowed figure stood beside him, its crimson optics burning. Dr. Light whispering, no, it can't be. Rock. What is that? Peter Over, my replacement. The figure stepped into the Light base, a war machine forged from stolen Light family blueprints. Wily's voice played over the feed. You wanted to be a hero, Peter. Then die like one. Dr. Light, Peter, there's one last armor. The Omega frame. A vault hissed open, revealing a sleek, obsidian exosuit humming with unstable energy. Dr. Light, it's not ready. The AI is too powerful. It might. Peter Over, consume me. He stepped toward it. I know. Roll grabbed his arm. There's another way. Peter Over, no. There isn't. He placed a clawed hand on her shoulder. Tell Cut Man, his big brother's proud of him. Chapter number 10, Peter Over vs. Yellow Devil and CWU-01P. Peter Over in Omega frame accepts the challenge from Dr. Wily and travels to his castle. As he works his way through the first station, he is stopped by the Yellow Devil. Yellow Devil, Boomo, Boomomomo. Boomomo boomomomomo boomo. Peter over in O Omega frame, what the hell? Speak English. Yellow Devil, boomo. Boomomomo. Boomomo boomomomomo boomo. Peter over in O Omega frame, English motherfucker, do you not understand? The devil liquefied, surging forward in a tsunami of molten metal. Over barely activated his Omega shield in time, the impact cratered him through 6 bulkheads. His HUD screamed, structural integrity, 67%. Warning, Yellow Devil's composition mimics quantum shifting nanites. Solution, none on record. Peter over gritting TCH, fine. Learn this. His plasma claws shifted into Frost Reavers, channeling Iceman's cryotech. He lunged, carving through the devil's form, only for the wounds to reform instantly. Yellow Devil laughing, BUMO fool. The O Omega frames battle memory word, analyzing, learning. Peter over, Wily built you to counter me. But you've got one flaw. He teleported inside the devil's mass, his armor burning as the nanites tried to consume him. Peter over roaring, you talk too much. His core overloaded, unleashing a neural shockwave, the same frequency that purged his brothers. The devil screamed, its form destabilizing. A split second, the Yellow Devil froze, revealing a core pulsing in its chest. Peter over, got you. His fist shattered it. The devil imploded, its remains splattering across the walls like liquid rust. Peter over in O Omega frame works his way through the second station of Wily Castle and is then stopped by the second Castle Guardian, CWU-01P. CWU-01P, intruders, bad. Eli mi nate intruders. The machine lunged, its knee piston exploding forward like a spear. Over barely twisted aside, but the follow-up backhand sent him crashing through a reactor conduit. CWU-01P, tar, get, AC quired. Over's battle memory word, learning. First attempt, Frost Reavers, CWU-01P's armor hardened, negating the ice. Second attempt, Plasma Claws, the unit absorbed the energy, charging its own weapons. Third attempt, Guts Man's hydraulic crush, CWU-01P countered with equal force. Peter over gritting TCH, fine. He did the unthinkable. He deactivated the O Omega, SAI. Dr. Light's voice echoing, Peter. Without the AI, your systems can't. Peter over, I don't need it. CWU-01P paused, its targeting system scrambled. It was built to counter a machine's logic, not a human's instinct. Over moved, not with calculated strikes, but with raw, unpredictable fury. A headbutt to its optic. A kick to its knee joint. No pattern. No efficiency. Just anger. CWU-01P glitching, ROR. Cannot. Compute. Over's fist smashed into its core. CWU-01P, FA, ill, Ur. The machine detonated, the blast hurling Over into Wily's throne room. Chapter number 11, Peter over vs. Nero L. Peter over in O Omega frame works his way through the third station of Wily Castle. After defeating the clones of the robot masters, he is then stopped by the third Guardian, Nero L, a darker sinister version that almost look like of Peter over. Peter over in O Omega frame, what the hell you're me but at the same time not. As Peter over in O Omega frame looks up and down directly at the new dark reflection of himself copycat created by Dr. Wily. Peter over in O Omega frame, that damn bastard Wily decide to critic a clone of myself. Nero L, to be honest Dr. Wily made me way more better way more superior copying the data of not just you including many of the Dr. Light's robot masters data into my system, and I already have my own name call me Nero L. Peter over in O Omega frame, you're a grave robber's puppet. Nero L moved. Shadow of Omega the first strike came from behind. Nero L had teleported without a trace, his knee slamming into Over's spine. The second was a plasma claw swipe, stronger than Over's own. Peter over skidding back TCH. Nero L smirking, ah. Slowing down, brother. Over lunged, fists crackling with elect man's voltage, but Nero L absorbed the energy, his armor flaring brighter. Nero L, thanks for the charge. Over's Frost Reaver's right pointing arrow Nero L countered with Fireman's meltdown. Guts Man's hydraulic crush right pointing arrow Nero L matched it with Bass's strength. Teleportation right pointing arrow Nero L predicted the exit point. Nero L laughing, I know everything you'll do. You're obsolete. Over's HUD flashed red. O Omega frame integrity, 54%. Warning. AI reintegration required. Peter over, yeah. Then predict this. He did the illogical. He deactivated his shields. The gamble Nero L's plasma cannon fired point blank, but overtanked it, letting the blast crater his armor as he grabbed Nero L's head. Peter over roaring, you want my data? Take it all. He unleashed a neural surge, flooding Nero L with every memory, every emotion, every failure Wily's machine wasn't designed to process. Nero L glitching, wah. No. Too much. 2. The overload shattered Nero L's core, his armor fracturing like glass. Nero L collapsing. How? I was, perfect. Peter over panting, perfect doesn't feel. The air smelled of ozone and molten metal as Nero L's shattered form crumpled to the ground, his once polished armor now spider webbed with cracks. Peter over stood over him, his O Omega frame smoking from the point-blank blast he'd endured. Nero L glitching, I was superior. Peter over in O Omega frame, no. You were just empty. A final spark, and Nero L's optics dimmed, leaving only silence. Chapter number 12, Peter over versus Dr. Wily. Peter over in O Omega frame works his way through the final station of Castle Wily. At the end, he sees a giant battle machine in front of him. Dr. Wily's saucer then flies overhead and lands right on top of the machine. The saucer opens and Dr. Wily speaks to Peter over in O Omega frame. Dr. Wily, if only I had programmed you differently back then. It would have been genius. It's the only mistake I've made in my life. Peter over in O Omega frame, I'm really angry, Dr. Wily. Using innocent robots for your own evil plans, I won't forgive you for this. Dr. Wily, wah, why you insolent fool, I will crush you with a loud, loud crunch. Behold, my latest creation, the ultimate combat robot, Wily Machine Number 1. Nuhahahaha. Peter over in O Omega frame battles and defeats the giant machine. The machine begins to short out. Dr. Wily, AACH, you stubborn fool, this time I'll finish you off for good. Dr. Wily's machine dismantles itself. Dr. Wily, curses, useless piece of junk, wait a second. Dr. Wily begins to repair his machine and proceeds to do battle with Peter over in O Omega frame again. Dr. Wily, Nuhaha, it's alive again, I'm a genius. Peter over in O Omega frame battles Dr. Wily again, and Mega Man once again defeats the Wily machine. It explodes and Dr. Wily is sent flying out and hits the ground. The Wily machine's explosion sent shockwaves through the crumbling fortress, its wreckage raining down like burning comets. Dr. Wily tumbled across the floor, his goggles cracked, his lab coat singed. He scrambled backward as Peter over's O Omega frame emerged from the smoke, armor battered but optics burning. Dr. Wily panicking, and no. Stay back, Peter over in O Omega frame, it's over. His plasma claws retracted. The fight was done. Wily's eyes darted to a hidden escape pod, but Roll's rolling buster shot past his ear, sealing the hatch. Roll. No more running. The robot masters, Cut Man, Ice Man, Elect Man, Fire Man, Guts Man, Bomb Man, stepped forward, their optics locked on their creator. Cut Man, you used us. Guts Man, you lied to us. Elect Man, and you hurt our brother. Wily's face twisted. Fools. You're just machines. You don't. Peter over's fist cracked against Wily's jaw, silencing him. Peter over, their family. Neo Tokyo's authorities hauled Wily away in quantum shackles, his screams fading into the night. Dr. Light softly, it's finally over. But over's frame flickered, the O Omega, S core overloading. Rock, urgent, Peter. Your systems. Peter over. New fist happened. He collapsed to one knee, his armor peeling away like dying embers. Location, Light Labs. 3 months later the sunlight filtered through the hospital blinds. Peter Light, no armor, no enhancements, sat up in bed, his human hands trembling as he reached for a glass of water. Dr. Light tearing up, welcome back, son. The door burst open, roll, rock, and the robot masters piled in, their cheers shaking the walls. Iceman, grinning, took you long enough, sleepyhead. Peter laughed, weak, but alive. And this is the end of the first movie of this What If. Do not forget to leave a comment down below and subscribe to this channel.